Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be aquascaping this aquatop 3-gallon long bookshelf aquarium. I started by adding my substrate, which was Tropca aqua soil recycled from the old scape that was in this tank. These are aquarium plant carpet seeds that I bought off Amazon a couple years ago, and although this sort of thing can be kind of shady, I have done this before and I had successful carpeting and plant growth for I think like 6 months in the previous scape that I used these in, so I decided I would use them in this scape just because I just don't really want to step into using a quote-unquote real carpet plant yet when I'm doing my first Iwagumi. But as you can see in this picture, this method has worked out for me before, and it actually does look pretty good. I bought these specific seeds so long ago that the actual product listing has been discontinued, but they're so common on Amazon, so I'll put a link to similar product in the description. Just know that this isn't a long-term solution. Last time I had these, actually, they went on for a pretty long time. I just had to break down the tank because of cyanobacteria, but 100% this is not going to last as long as a normal carpeting plant, and it really varies from product to product because a lot of them use different species of plants, and anything that grows from a seed like this really isn't going to be a fully aquatic plant forever, I don't think. So just use caution when you're using these seeds, and know that it's not going to be a permanent solution for years. covered the top of the tank with saran wrap to keep in the humidity. I also added a more powerful light to the top of the tank and kept it on for 12 hours a day while the seeds were getting started. Now, believe it or not, one secret to growing these is insulating them in some way, and to do this, I use just a fluffy blanket. So wherever these plants grow in the wild, they must grow in some really warm, humid tropical conditions, and in order to simulate that, I just put a blanket over the tank while they grow. Because the heat emitted by the light can't really escape as easily, it really warms up the inside of the tank, and I think that provides just optimal conditions for these to grow. So I would recommend that if you choose to follow this method. Cover your tank with something warm to keep the seeds at a proper temperature to germinate. Now it was time to fill it with water, and I decided to do that by adding quote-unquote pre-cycled water from my 36 gallon. This probably doesn't really do anything, but I feel like it's nice to start off a new tank with water that's already been quote-unquote seeded in an older one. Everybody, it's done. So here we are with the finished scape, and for something I've never done before like this style, I think it turned out pretty well. I'm really happy with how it looks. I think it looks really good. It's just that simple Iwagumi look, and it's certainly pretty striking. It stands out from all my other tanks. And I know it's not sort of the standard natural thing, like you don't even see something like this in the wild. Of course, you don't see just like a soft bed of just plants completely grown across underwater, but you know, that's not exactly what we're going for here. I was sort of going for that Iwagumi look, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks. I think that I pulled this off pretty well. These rocks are older ones that I've used in different scapes, so as you can see, unfortunately, there is some like glue on this one right here. There's like a bit of sap that's stuck to this one right here, but I could not get that glue off, unfortunately. So kind of have to look at that now, but I'm really happy with how this turned out, especially given that this is all just stuff that I had on hand, and these seeds had been sitting in my little miscellaneous aquarium stuff drawer for like 2 years or something like that, and they grew right out of the package. So really happy about that. And again, I'll put a link to similar ones in the description, but I just want to go over the pros and cons of using these seeds. So some of the cons, let's start right off, because that's really what you guys want to look out for. They don't look like this forever, really, because you know, you buy an aquarium plant, it looks different out of water than it does underwater. Same thing goes for this. It loses this Monte Carlo round leaf shape and adopts more of like a needle leaf shape.
The carpet kind of started out with these leaves. They're just kind of, it's hard to focus, it's so bright green. These little round leaves, but hello. But now it's just kind of these tall leaves going right here.
Fortunately, it doesn't get much taller than that. The carpet's probably going to go up to like maybe here or something like that, but I sort of accounted for that, so the rocks should still be exposed, but it doesn't keep this round look forever. It gets that sort of needle look. And everything is different. Like, who knows if the one that I bought, or the one that I bought all those years ago, or I guess 2 years ago, or the one that I'm linking in the description today is going to be the same thing. Really don't know what plant it is, because I don't think it's an aquatic plant, because in my experience, I haven't been able to get it to live longer than like 6 to 8 months underwater. But again, both the tanks I've had to break down because of cyanobacteria, so who knows, maybe the plants can grow longer than that. But that's my experience with this. You don't know what kind of plant this is. You can't actually really trim it because it doesn't seem to really grow back. Like, you can't like mow this down right here like you can Monte Carlo. It's not gonna like fill back out. It doesn't spread by runners. Like, each one of these little plants came from an individual seed, I believe, so it doesn't like create runners and fill out the carpet more after you've trimmed it. So you can't really trim it back, or else you're just gonna get bald spots in it. And it's not a permanent solution. It's not gonna last years at all. But for someone like me who has tanks running for 6 to 8 months or so before I escape them again, it works out totally fine. I have used this Rotala indica in the back right here, mainly because it's what I had on hand, but also I think it looks good. It is a lot of green, like, you know, you got the green carpet, green background. But I think it looks good. Maybe I'll get some AR Mini, Alternanther Reinecke Mini, pop it into like these pockets right here. I think that'd look cool, but I don't exactly know if this light's bright enough to grow that. But also I have some of this Crypspiralis in the corner, hoping that loops over, looks nice, and some Dwarf Sag right here just to add some texture. And some of the pros of using these aquarium carpet seeds, well, you can get a full carpet in like, I think like a week and a half, and they're super easy to grow. You just got to be able to do a dry start, so you can't just put these into an established tank. And they look good. They're so easy to do. You don't need super high light. You don't need CO2 to grow a full carpet. And so there are a lot of pros to something like this, and although you don't have the satisfaction of knowing that this is a long-term carpet that you worked hard to grow, but you still get that nice carpeting look, at least for a temporary amount of time. But I think it looks really nice. I'm really happy with it. It really stands out from, you know, everything else in here. And I'm really excited to get some fish in here. Right now, all I've got is this single horned Nerite snail right there. Just threw him in here, just keep the cycle going until I figure out what fish I want to do. I've got some exclamation point rasboras, kind of like the ones I have in my no filter tank right here. The lights are off just for filming. In a shrimp tank that I would like to move them out of, but I was considering putting them in here, but I also don't know whether or not they would appreciate escape like this, because it's really open. There's not a lot of cover for them, and I think that they'd appreciate more cover. So let me know what you guys think. Should I add them in here? Because I think that'd be really cool to have like a school of, I think I've got 8 or maybe even 10 just in here. This is a 3-gallon tank again, but remember it's almost as big as a 10-gallon lengthwise. It's just really skinny, but it gives a lot of swimming room. So I do have pretty wide stocking options when we're talking about just the size of tank. But I think I could do some shrimp in here. I could do a school of those exclamation points. I think that would look really cool, but I'm worried that their behavior wouldn't be great. They might be really shy in here just because they're out in the open. Anybody who has any input on that, let me know in the comments. I could do some like Scarlet Baddis, something like that. I don't think I'd want to do a betta in here. I just don't feel like, I feel like a big fish, like, I mean, not big, but like compared to the scape, a betta is going to be like this big. So it would be fine in this tank, but I think it would offset the scale that I'm trying to get here. So some sort of nano fish like that, I think would be cool. But yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments for what I should stock this with. Thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the scape and the video. See you guys next time.